Hey gamers, Baby Smooth here. Today we have a nice little list. We will be ranking every Rotmg class based off of how fun they are. Obviously personal preference comes into play here, but I like to think that my opinions have been formed by the community a little bit. All that said, let's get into it. Starting with the Archer. This is a tough call. So, the Archer without cool UTs would probably be around a B or a C. It's sometimes fun to snipe with his ability. It feels pretty decent to use. It's just a line drive, basically. But when you get shit like the Void Quiver or the Interregnum Quiver, it very quickly becomes a fun class, and I'm gonna have to put it in high A. A+ tier for the Archer. Next up is the Assassin. Now generally, the Assassin's kind of fun. You may not want to hear this, but the ability to throw poisons from far away, be a leech, be a stinky butt, run real fast, and then when you add polarity poison into the mix, it's decent. I'm gonna give this probably a high B. Probably a high B. Next up is the Kensei. Ooh, I have a feeling this is gonna be a very controversial list. What if I told you the Kensei was S tier for fun? But there's a big but here, and trust me, I know big buts. It's only S tier for fun outside of Exalt Dungeons. When you are in Exalt Dungeons, trying to use its ability, you're going to end up dead. A lot of people just play mundane Kenseis. But when you're just running through the Godlands dungeons, and you're saying, hey, look at me, I can go dash through this boss, and sometimes you die, sometimes you don't, that's pretty fun, honestly. The Kensei's our first S tier, but it is somewhat low S tier. A lot of its abilities are really cool. Knight. Totally D tier. No, I'm kidding. It's S. You know it's S tier. It's higher than the Kensei. All right, Knight players. Okay. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're a Knight player. Next up is the Mystics. I made a category just for the Mystic. Can you tell what category it is? Do you like trolling? Are you an insufferable goober? And do you want everyone to hate you? Play the Mystic. You will have so much fun. Honestly, if you want to troll, it's higher than S tier. If you don't want to troll, it's like a C or a D. But if you like trolling, it's higher than S tier. Go roll a Mystic, just spam your ability on everything. Only level up your pet's magic heal. Ooh, you're gonna have a great time, buddy. It's gonna be so fun. Next up, the Necromancer. This is like one of my favorite classes in the game. I can't say it's fun. It kind of is, when you like heal a whole party on Shatter's blobs. Or you heal yourself to full in the Godlands, but I have to give it a C. Like, generally stabs do not have cool UT options, aside from maybe Superior and the new core staff upgrade, but it's a C. Its UT abilities are not that fun to use. And that's what this is based off. Is it fun? Next up, we have the Ninja. The Ninja's probably gonna go to A tier for a few reasons. One, you look cool doing it. Two, you're running around real fast. Three, katanas are kind of unusable if you're not a ninja, and if you're a Kensei, you kind of don't really worry about using your weapon too much. You're too busy being an idiot, dashing through things. I'm gonna give Ninja an A. I think Ninja's pretty fun. When you have a Kageboshi, it's cool. And some katanas are really fun to use. I really enjoy using a Doku, I don't know why. Ooh, voice crack. Ooh, that's not fun. Next up is the Paladin. Is it fun? Not really. Like, hear me out. Knight's ability is more fun to use. Warrior's ability gives you speedy as a melee. More fun to use. The only thing that brings fun to Paladin is an Oreo, because you can just not abide by the laws of the game when you have one. But because it relies on one specific item, and that item itself is very cool, but maybe not fun, I'm gonna give it a B. Now, it is fun to use an Oreo, but it's too much. It's too much of a stretch here. Next up, we have Bard. Bard go hard. Is Bard fun? I'm gonna say yes. There are a few UTs that are very cool. Having your range increase is pretty sick. And also, sometimes having Kalo Sword users cry at you because they, for some reason, can't move one step backwards. That's pretty good. That's pretty enjoyable. Do you like summoning parrots? Do you like being useful? Do you like giving the party buffs? I think Bard's pretty fun. I'm going to give it an A tier. And it looks cool to me. I think Bard has drip. Has Riz. We got Priest. Is Priest fun? With Lucoric's Tome, S tier. With anything else, is Priest fun? This is gonna break my heart to say it. No! Priest isn't that fun. They made wands cool. But you really have to want to heal the group. You really have to want to help noobs. You really want to have to help people to have fun with this. And I don't think most people fall into that. To be just a fungal person, to just put mushrooms, is, it does it or it doesn't. You know, like, if you like that, it does it for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I think for a lot of people, it doesn't. Remember, this list is about fun. I love fun. I like to have fun. Next up is the Rogue. Is the Rogue fun? I don't think so. This isn't 2012. This isn't 10 years ago. Is your ability useful? Barely. But sometimes, I'm gonna give it the highest B. If you're doing solo play, it's A. You know what? I have to put it in A. The ability is unique enough that it is fun. Nothing else will stealth you on command. I mean, you can talk about the mist ring from Fungal, but it's fun. We'll give it a fun. Daggers suck, though. Daggers aren't that fun to use. But there is a new one coming in the Moonlight Dungeon. Probably. That looks pretty cool. Next up is Samurai. Is Samurai fun? I hate to say it. No. It's not, bro. It's just not. You're slow, and your ability stinks. Imagine using Samurai's ability. It could be cool, but it's not. I'm giving Samurai the first D, and this is probably biased. You can hate me in the comments, all three of you Samurai players, but nobody wants that. Even the Waki from the Shatters, I don't know, man. It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't get my goat. I mean, to each their own, right? I give it our only D, maybe. Well, definitely not our only D. Next up is the Sorcerer. Is it fun? Personally, for me, I like to sit back and blast things. I like to see things melt before my very eyes. I'm gonna give it a B, though. All the scepters are the same. Like, the way you use the scepter is very much the same. I would be very interested in seeing a scepter that acts in a different way. Much like this next class we're gonna talk about. It's just a B for now. Wands are cool sometimes, the UT ones. Its ability, it basically plays the game for you, so I don't know. It is fun to see things melt, though. Speaking of melt, we have a new S challenger approaching. It's the Wizard. Now, the Wizard's UT abilities, the Wizard's UT spells, are perhaps the most game-changing, but also the most homogeneous in a weird duality. Do you like aiming your cursor at the bottom right corner of something to spell bomb it with tiered spells? Now, let me tell you about a little thing called circular spells, circular UT spells, that do just about the same thing, but in a circle instead. We have 3 circular UT spells, and they're all good. The Parasite spell, the Penetrating Blast spell, which is my personal favorite, and the Tablet. Now, I don't know who made the laws of nature saying that every UT item in this game has to be the same for this class, but at least there's creative liberties in the way that they look. Like, Penetrating Blast starts from the center, but at the end of the day, it's a big circle. Tablet is very small. At the end of the day, it's a circle. Parasite Spell, it's a circle. I don't know why. It's all a circle. If there was a spell that was maybe like a cool line, or like a, you know, some different stuff, a triangle, I don't know. You could argue that Genesis is like a cross or a square. I would argue even that's a circle. It's all circles, man. But we're talking in circles here. Next is the Summoner. Is it fun? I think so. I think it's nice to summon allies to do your work for you, so you can just, you already have wand range, you can just go cook a dinner while your summoned pets do everything. I think Summoner's pretty fun. There are some UTs that are nice, like the Sprite mace, by the way. Pretty good mace, does good damage. Pretty fun to use. You make little trees that sometimes piss you off when they don't go where you want. The Peacekeeper, it's probably fun. I've never gotten one as a drop, and that makes me sad. And I'm not gonna forge one, because that's not fun. Next up is the Trixter. Is it fun? S tier, baby. Do you want to jump around and be dumb? Do you want to decoy and help your team? Of course you don't want to do that. But jumping around and being dumb, that's pretty fun. Accidentally jumping into the boss because you forget you're a Trickster? That's pretty fun, too. We all do that. That shit's pretty fun. Warrior, do you want to go burr? Do you want to be a melee class that runs really fast and can't possibly die? You know it's going to be S tier. Warrior is fun. If you say Paladin is more fun than Warrior, you're literally coping. You're honestly coping. Would you rather be the group's Paladin or be a Warrior that still benefits from the Paladin buff but moves at the speed of light? Now you might say, but Baby Smooth, I don't want speed buff. I'm fighting, you know, something I don't want to move fast for. Okay, let me introduce you to Jug. Let me introduce you to shitty Shatter's Helm. That isn't that cool. Could be cooler. It makes big swords. They're not that useful. Let me introduce you to Helm of the Bees, which once again is not exactly that cool. But there's bees. Next up is the Huntress. It's funny that this is like the last one. Where do you think I'm gonna put the Huntress? I mean, look. We've got biases, but have you ever wanted to be a 50 speed assassin with a bow? I can't say that I have. Have you ever wanted to take what makes Assassin cool and just make it stupid? Like, look, it's cool that you can stack traps. That's pretty dope. But when the boss is invulnerable and runs over them, that's not that dope. There are redeeming qualities to Huntress and its ability and the fun you can have from it, but with 50 speed, I just don't think it's that fun. That said, it's in C tier, leaving Samurai the lowest. Mystic can be S tier with the Shatters Orb. That shit's probably one of the funnest items in the game, but, you know, it's down here because you want to troll. And it's still S tier if you do want to troll. Next up, we have the Gorilla with high heels coming in at number 1, baby. That's been Baby Smooth. Don't follow me on Twitter, or do, I might start tweeting. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.